Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and welcome back to the Western Shore. So it is day 3? Yeah, I believe it is. If I could get this turned on. Yeah, day 3. So we did get, let's bring this up here. We did get field 49. We finished getting our wheat in there, and we've also got fertilizer now on all of our grass fields. Growth, we're starting to grow our grass. I want to wait till it's second or third harvest stage. That will give us a greater yield, will it not? Or is it only, is that binary? Is it either harvestable or not? I can't remember for 17. We'll figure it out. It is, it's early morning. I do have the lights turned on. This map looks really, really good at night. Now, there was something that I noticed because we're using reshade right off the NVIDIA card. I'll turn it on for you. So when we go in here, as you know, in 17, the lights are composed of like 3 different elements, right? So you got 3 elements. Anyway, check this out. When I turn this on, this is the reshade settings that we've been using. It becomes almost too dark in there. It doesn't really look natural. It looks great in the daytime. Doesn't look so good at night. So that's going to be one of those things that we'll need to experiment with a little bit and find a good balance and find a good way to make it look, I don't know, as good as possible at all times. So this is what's going on this episode. We have got to clean up our animals, and we have got to sell some milk. Yep. So we've got some floor food there. We've got some poo there. It's early morning. We'll get that taken care of straight away. And then we will hook up our tanker and take it down to, I'll show you right here. So looking up at the top, we can see wheat, barley, canola, sunflower, etc. Sugarcane, right? Poo, slurry, wool, right? And then we go all the way over to lime and compost. And nowhere up there did I see milk anywhere. However, there is a dairy down across from the store. So we'll see. I mean, we'll head down there and see. I'm curious what time they open because things on this map do have operating hours. I'm curious if I don't want to drive down there and they're not open yet. But you know what? We'll just figure it out as we go. I also realized we've got, come on now, we've got plenty of grass on this map. We've got all those grass fields. We don't need a whole lot of grass and hay and silage for our cows. We need some. I mean, obviously enough to get them through the summer and winter. But it's not, we have many, many more fields than we have cows. Does that make sense? So I don't think we will overproduce grass, hay, and silage if we were to use all of our fields as food. We're going to use some of that as a cash crop. Question is what? And normally we would just go silage, right? But this map does have the compost master installed. So we can dump grass directly into the compost master. We can get compost out of it, which we can then sell or use as fertilizer. So there is a way to convert grass back to fertilizer. I mean, at some point you end up in a loop because really the only crop we have right now is wheat. And the only reason we have wheat is so we can make straw bales for our cows. But then we also have all that grass, and if we were using grass to make compost, which we then use to fertilize our grass, you see what I'm saying? We've got a bit of a circular economy at that point. We got a bit of a circular economy. At what point do we sell something and make money? So we'll need to figure out what we want to do about that. And something else, and let's get backed up here, and then I'll click over to the menu and show you first right there. Right there. All right. Like so. Done. So bring this back in. Oh, drop it down. Yeah, let me show you something. So this is, and let's get back to a color scheme that's a little easier on the eyes. This is what we own right now. And with 6-day seasons turned on, I wouldn't say that this will be difficult for us, but we need to keep our wits about us, particularly as the dairy grows and we have more and more waste to deal with, right? But this is our entire farm right now. This is the map. There are several other animal farms, and there's tons and tons of fields. I don't think with seasons, a single player, I could be wrong about this, but I don't think a single player could ever max out this map. I think there's just more map than there is player. So that's a good kind of map for me. And, you know, it's interesting. Cal, carefully. It's interesting for me to think about gaming as I used to know it. When I was a kid. The way gaming was. And to think about the way it is now. And it seems like what we wanted when we were kids was we wanted to take 2 or 3 Monopoly sets and take the money out of all of them and put it all together. Now, when you're a kid, you don't understand things like inflation and devaluing currency. It seems like a great idea. In practice, it is not. You just play all night until people get bored because, you know, put all that money together and it's like paying rent becomes irrelevant, becomes meaningless. Story for another day. What we were aiming for, what we were trying to do was we were trying to make games bigger, right? And it's interesting to me as an adult to play video games. And there are plenty of examples of this where, as clip through the ceiling, as big as we want the game to be, there are some games that I've come across that are so big, I wouldn't say that they're too big, but they're big enough that you realize as you're playing them, wow, I will run out of time before I run out of game. And so looking at a map like this, like Western Shore, I realized that I could play this map and concentrate on one part of the map and put a couple hundred hours into it. And then I could, well, you can't sell fields in 17, can you? Once you buy it, you own it. You can sell them you can sell them in 19, but not in 17. I believe that is correct. But you could essentially farm this map out. Oh, wait a minute. That's going to be on the wrong side. Yeah, if we do that, we're going to be trapped back there. Okay, so we need to go here. Yep, okay. That gate would have swung open and hit the telehandler. So we need to actually go in here. Oh, this is a little tricky. If you want to keep this gate closed, and in real life I don't know whether you would need to or not. I don't know if your cows would be trying to escape that aggressively. Right. Now we can do this. So you could farm this map, right? Or farm this part of this map. A couple hundred hours, right? I wouldn't say burn yourself out on it, but, you know, max it out. And then you could restart on this same map and go with a different farm, right? Go with a farm on the other side of the map, or go with sheep or pigs or something, or go with no animals, just arable, whatever. But I guess what I'm getting at is this map is so big that, like when I was a kid, you know, more. I want more. I want to run out of game before I run out of interest. And this map maker seems to have done that. And there's a couple other games that I feel like have done the same thing recently. And we won't get into all that now. We focus on, when we're in a farm video, we focus on farm only. But I feel like there are some other games that have done that recently as well. I'm gonna back up just a little bit so our door can open properly. Right. How about here? Yeah, let's be responsible farmers so we're not chasing cows down the road. And then back in here. And that's definitely a... It's like when you go see an Avengers movie, go see a Marvel movie. I feel like I run out of... Hang on, let's get through here. I run out of, not interest, you know, but it's like the movie lasts long enough that I never feel like I ran out of movie before I ran out of time. Does that make sense? It's Monday. I may not be expressing myself very clearly, but I think you see what I'm getting at. Plenty of map on this map. So we come out here. One more gate. All right. Back in here. So, and then we're going to get unstuck from the somewhat dodgy movement dynamics. Let's turn this off. Right, that's that one. Let's close this. All right. Pop back in here. All right. Carefully. All right, right around there. And the more I think about it, the more I think the dairy is not going to be open at 6:30. Although, in real life, it probably would be. Would it not? I think it would be. Lights off. Engine off. And to turn all these lights off, the yard lights, there's one here. Like so. All right, that's that one. Covers those as well. Up here, you saw the one on the front there. There. This one is over here. Way over here. In this little room right here. All right. So there's that one. Close that. This one is right here, and this controls the lights outside and also inside this building. So there is that one, and I believe there is one more on the back of the cow shed proper. Yep, right there. So that is lights on and lights off. There we go. And it's bright enough now. I'm going to turn reshade back on. There we go. I do prefer that, but I was sort of confused because it got, even the areas that had the yard lights on were so dark. And I was a bit confused because this map maker, I have to say, this map maker skips no details. There are no, it's a flawless map. There is nothing wrong with it. And so it seemed odd that you would have those areas of darkness in the shed. But it was an error on our part. So where do we load milk? Possibly in here. That's the sort of cruelty I expect from Bullet Bill. Can we even get in here? Could be there. I don't see it being anywhere over here. Yeah, it has to be here. I mean, this is... Yeah. Maybe. Hang on. Before we start driving around, I think I'd like to find it. Yeah, look how dark it is up here. That is on us. It wouldn't be back here. This is the back side of the... Maybe here? Maybe here. Maybe. Then we could come down here. Okay. That seems the most likely. And then what is on the other end of that tank? That would be right over here. Okay, looks like... Yep. Let's try out in the in the lane first. We'll back it in and see if that gets it. Okay. So we're going to hop in here. And this, for 17, the Coda Universal Pack does transport milk. For the 19 version of it, it does not. So we will be able to use this. This way. I got a comment from somebody that the grades on this map are really pretty aggressive, almost to the point of having to adjust it to make more realistic, not too realistic. And as I was cleaning up field 49, you know, we had all that side slip and sort of problems as we were working on it, getting our wheat in. And I was thinking that when a map maker makes a map, it's impossible to anticipate all the different mods that various players will use. And so I think a map maker just makes their map. And any mods that you want to use, any mod conflicts that they may cause, or in this case, using more realistic, it's not really a mod conflict. It's almost making the map, I don't want to say impossible to play, but it's almost making it unrealistic when you have a 150 horsepower tractor. Oh no, we got it in one try. Okay. All right, so do that, and we are filling, and I think we have, oh, we can find out. I think we had, yeah, I mean, we've still got 12,000 liters. I want to say this tank holds, oh no, this tank holds 20,000. 20,000. Okay, so we will be able to fit our total volume in there. We don't need this anymore. And I also realized this is a good opportunity. So R key on the keyboard is the command to begin filling or unloading a tank. And it's also click in or click down on your left stick on a gamepad. Oh, no, it's 10,000. It's not 20,000. Okay, so we won't even empty our milk tank on the farm. Click in or click down on the left stick is the gamepad, is the controller command for that same action. I've got Gearbox add-on remapped so that click down on the left stick is my shuttle. And the problems that we were running into at the water fill back there in the corner, back in the corner of the yard, I would tell it to start filling, right? And then I would put in whatever, 1,500 liters of water into this tanker. And then I would press the R key to tell it to stop filling. Then I would shift from reverse to forward. And as we were pulling away, right, I would notice we had 2,500 liters. So essentially what I was doing was, as I was shuttling from one position to the next, I was also telling the tank to either continue filling or to stop filling if it was filling. That makes sense? I've got overlapping commands is what I'm saying. And that's something that I can sort out in the key bindings, the input config.xml. Whoa. So yeah, little stuff like that. Not a big deal. But going back to what I was saying earlier, when a map maker makes a map, he has no idea. They have no idea what mods you're going to be running. And so they just make their map. And then it's up to you to sort that out, and we will. But more realistic is, as I was struggling up and down that field in a 230 odd horsepower tractor, as I was struggling up and down that field, I thought this is, we're running more realistic, but this is almost unrealistic in that you would not have these kinds of troubles in a tractor that powerful, unless the field was very, very muddy or something else was going on. But just on a normal day, a tractor is going to be able to get up just about any grade of field, because you wouldn't have a field that a tractor couldn't maneuver in. And that's not to say that you couldn't put a giant trailer on it or something, but for the small implements that we had, like I said, it was almost unrealistic that we were struggling that way. So we will effort a compromise. And I want to stress again that there's nothing wrong with the map. It's just the way we have things set up. All right, so we will very carefully pull out here. How are we doing on time? 20 minutes. This could work out just right. If the dairy is closed, we will... Come on now. If the dairy is closed, we will just accelerate time. And then next episode, I suppose we'll be getting into grass work. Next episode, we've got 22,000 pounds left. We are not wealthy, and we've got a quarter million pound loan. So we're going to need to be careful. But I believe between milk sales, and we're making a lot of milk, between milk sales and compost and various other things, I believe we can do this. Now, the door to the dairy has been open as I've been running errands back and forth to the store. The roll door at the dairy has been open. If it is closed, then we know that is on a timer as well. And so we will just accelerate time until the door opens. So we go right through here. Such a great map. I don't want to go on and on about it, but I'm going to go ahead and go on and on about it because it is such a great map. It's really, really good. Now, I did notice that there's a little tap out in front of the dairy. Okay, the door is closed, but there's a little tap out there. So let's see. Let's bring this back up. Let's see what we get. Now that says start fill. Huh. All right. Let's try it. Okay. It's as simple as that. Oh, we've got our hose. Oh, I can, yeah. There you go. Accordion that back a little bit. I always like little details like that. I miss stuff like that in 19. And I know a lot of this stuff is not 17 base game, so you can't really say, well, it was in 17, but now it's not in 19. It's features that have been added to 17 by modders. But I really think those things could be in 19 base game. I know. It's the same every episode. We just talk about all the things that 19 is missing. But it's valid. I mean, this game is something that we've earned our stripes. You know what I mean? We've played enough hours. How'd we do? $8 grand for 10,000 liters. I don't know how much volatility there is in pricing. I know Seasons adds a little bit of up and down. But if we can do that daily, that would be, we'll call it 7 times 6, 42,000 times 4. So about 150K a year just from milk. With the number of cows that we have now, and with all those grass fields, then we will need to lease a little bit of equipment or possibly buy a little bit of equipment. Oh dear. Snuck right up on me. Get out of your way here, sir. We will need to lease or possibly buy a little bit of equipment to bring that grass in, but we certainly have enough grass fields to support not only the cows that we currently own, but more cows in the future. So our milk volume, our milk production, hopefully, theoretically, will only go up. And maybe we can get that 150,000 a year up to 250 or 300. And that's really, between that and either compost or silage, that's really all we've got. We've got that one small wheat field. But, you know, that's not really, I wouldn't think of that as a revenue stream. It's not the biggest field, and the crop that is in it is not going to be super profitable. Really we just want the straw bales, which will allow us to make enough, hopefully enough manure and slurry that we don't have to buy pellet fertilizer anymore. Save game, and we can go from there. But yeah, it's coming together, and I'm really liking this map. Really glad that I found it. It was I was directed toward it, and I'm glad that I was, because otherwise I would not have ever thought to play a 17 map again. So this has really worked out well. There we go. We'll get this parked up. 26 minutes. Perfect. Perfect. And we'll call it. I'm not sure what that was. That was not a save game. I think the sky swap mod, and particularly the number of, oh hey, our wheat's growing already. And then we have the additional sky boxes, that 800 meg pack of sky boxes. It's a pretty big file to unzip, find a skybox, and pull it out. So it could be that those secondary stutters that we're getting, not related to save game, could be that those. Oh, right. Hang on, let me get off the road here. I was curious if traffic spawned out this far, and it does, but it's very rare. All the hours that we've been playing, that's the first time I've seen a car this far out on Bramble Lane. And oh man, I cannot tell you what those details mean to me. That is so cool that the mapmaker would set it up so that the spawn for that traffic is every few hours of gameplay. You know, there's a subtlety to that. And again, this is artistry. There's a subtlety to that. That, you know, how often would you see traffic way out here? Not too often. So, well played. And it may take us 2 swings to get this thing in here far enough over. Yeah, I don't want to hit the pole. Get this thing in here far enough over that we can then fit the 5600 next to it and try to double up and make the most of these stalls. Oh, what did I hit? Technically, I didn't hit anything because it's not visually, it's not making contact. But you know how those trigger boxes are. I don't really want to hit that. Let's straighten this out. So, get this parked up. Beautiful. Slip brake. Lights off. Engine is off. And there you have it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17. This is the Western Shore. We'll see you next time. Take care now.